and I am a consultant here at the Small Business Development Center. And Ruth Schwartz is a consultant as well. And we're going to be co-facilitating this webinar today. And you'll kind of, Ruth is going to start us off. I'm going to kind of come in. I'm going to come in at the back half. She's going to come in. And really, this is the sharing of ideas. And perhaps to your advantage, you may be the only one. So this will be something that could be really fun for you. Anyway, a couple things that we chatted about earlier is thank you again for showing us your video. Please keep your eyes on the road, however. And we're just going to walk through this, and I'm hoping that you're going to be home fairly soon. But I'm going to pass it over to Ruth. Ruth, you are on.
Great. Of course, now I'm going to have a technical difficulty. All right, Tyler. So I'm not sure if you know who we are, but we are the SBDC, and lots of people don't know who we are. But we are the consulting branch, technically of the SBA, the federal government, small business branch of the government. And along with the SBA and all of our other stakeholders, we really are here as a public service to do great work for the community. And the way that we work with the community is we love entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship. So we're here to help create and grow businesses. This is what we do, though. Again, we are the consulting arm. Primarily what we do is consult with business owners, but we also train. That's how you're here today. I can't see the bottom of my screen, so give me 2 seconds here to move things around. Here we go. We train. We give tons of referrals into the market for various needs that entrepreneurs have. And we run a couple of accelerator programs as well here in Idaho. Oops. So here is Idaho SBDC. Idaho SBDC came online in 1986. There are 6 regions, so anybody in the state of Idaho is never too far away from an SBDC consultant. Both Marie, all 3 of us, Marie, Kim, and I, are headquartered in Region 3 in Boise, although there are 5 other locations. And Boise is also the home of the state home of Idaho SBDC, and we're technically operating out of Boise State University. Of course, none of us have worked out of Boise State University since the spring. Most of us work at home or in our accelerators in other locations because we can, I think, work at Boise State now, but none of us are. There's 2 accelerator programs well in the Treasure Valley. And one is where I am right now. I work at the Boise Business Accelerator, and Marie also works out at the Nampa Business Accelerator, and those programs are the home of a lot of small businesses to help accelerate their growth. And if you become interested in the accelerator programs, you can ask us at another time. Hi, Lindsay, welcome. We're getting a very slow start here today, but it's good to see you here, and thanks for turning your camera on. My name is Ruth Schwartz. I'm here with Marie Baker, and I'm going to run through just some first entry information, but unfortunately, I already kind of started some of it. So you can go back and find out about some of the stuff I said already. I'm going to just keep on plowing through here. The fact of the matter is that those businesses who have done work with the SBDC as opposed to not working with an SBDC consultant is quite a big difference, both in their sales growth and their employment growth. You can see on this screen right now that over the course of a 20-year business trajectory, how much more growth a company, a business owner who works with an SBDC consultant is going to benefit over those people who don't work with an SBDC consultant to grow their business. So you're in the right place if you're considering growing your business. I want to welcome Jamie here. We have already started, and just feel free to please, and Andrea, please turn on your cameras and be with us. I'm going to keep going through some of the information that we have to start, namely our agenda. Today, I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself, to tell us a little bit about your business in a 30-second elevator pitch, which is one reason to join us with your camera. We're going to talk for a few minutes about cybersecurity. It's an ongoing problem for all small businesses, so we're certainly mandated to talk about that. I'm going to go through all these fundamentals with you, and then Marie's going to pick it up and work with you, more of a workshop setting to look at your whole picture of your businesses and what are the next steps here at the SBDC. I'm almost feeling like I should start over again, because maybe ever since the time changed, I know all my clocks have different times on them. I'm sorry that some of you have missed the beginning of this, but welcome now. Please turn your cameras on, be with us. Of course, turning your mics off is a good plan, just in case we have some peripheral noises. But right now, if you have a camera available to you, please turn on your camera, because now we're going to just do some introduction. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but I would love everybody who has shown up here to do what we call the 30-second elevator pitch. This is an old term based on if you were stuck in an elevator for 30 seconds with somebody, what would you tell them about your business? So introduce yourself, introduce your company by name, if you have one. If not, then just by what you are expecting to be doing. What is the problem, the need you're addressing, and for who are you creating your business? You can give us a very brief description of your service, how it's unique, and then as if you are standing in that elevator, I think most of us would say it's a parking lot pitch these days, because we're more like walking out to the car than we are in an elevator. But if you are in an elevator and you were telling somebody about your business and yourself, what would you want them to do? That's the call to action. So I welcome everybody here, and I invite you to turn on your camera, be in the room with us right now. And I can call on you, or you can just volunteer. That would be really great, to give us your elevator pitch and tell us a little bit about yourself. Who'd like to go first?
I'll go, Ruth, if that's all right with you.
Okay, I see Tyler and Eddie whose cameras are off, so I don't know who's speaking.
Oh, that's me. Is my camera off to you? Can you see me by chance?
I only see the beautiful faces of women right now. So I know that
okay.
one of our gentlemen, both of you, neither of you, this is Tyler. It's Tyler, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it's me. Sorry, this is Tyler.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to switch on your camera, that's great. Otherwise, take it away.
Ruth, his camera is on.
It is? I can't see him.
It's off now, but it was on.
Okay. Okay. Well, I'll just get started. I'm sorry about that, Ruth. I'll try and fix my camera as I go, but
no worries.
But my name's Tyler. I'm 24 years old. I've worked for the past 5 years in marketing, and my business idea that I have right now is a dog park. What the biggest problems with dog parks here in our area and really across the nation, if you look at it, is there's a lot of entertainment for dogs there, but there's not very much entertainment for dog owners. And so the problem that we hope to resolve is the entertainment for dog owners and create an atmosphere where families can come and enjoy their dogs and also enjoy the company of others and socialize with other dog owners and people who are like-minded and love dogs. And so our target market is dog owners between the ages of 18 to 35. As the pandemic has hit and stuff like that, dog ownership in that area has gone up significantly. So what we hope to do is create an atmosphere where people can come and enjoy refreshments and TV, almost like a concession area or a bar area where they can come and enjoy refreshments, TV, and also let their dogs play around and have fun at the park.
Awesome. So just to wind up your elevator pitch, if you were giving me that elevator pitch, what would you like me to do now? What's your call to action?
So right now, I'm trying to get advice on the strengths and weaknesses that we have as far as our business plan and our financials. I'm working with an accountant right now to understand the financials a little bit better, especially with a business of this sort, which I've actually never worked in before. But that's the biggest thing, is just advice and understanding where we can improve our business plan and our business model, as well as improving understanding of financials.
Okay. Well, great. At the end, we'll definitely give you contact information for all of you on how to get get an appointment with an SBDC consultant, and to answer any further questions you have after this webinar. Who would like to go next and do their elevator pitch? Oh, you all get to do it.
Don't all shout out at once. Come on now.
Andrea?
So my name is Andrea Harmon. I have actually been in business for almost 2 years now. I started out with a business partner and am going solo. So I'm kind of reinventing my business and what it looks like going forward. I own the Idaho Shirt Shack, and we're a custom screen print and apparel business. So we provide custom apparel, primarily shirts, but we do a lot of other apparel and screen print and embroidery. Our target market is primarily businesses, but also events and just individuals that are needing custom shirts made. So it's unique because all of our products are custom done. So it's whatever design the customer wants. We make it happen. And I guess my call to action would be to have people reach out that need apparel.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are here. Paula, you got your mic on. Do you want to go next? Nope, we're not hearing you. Okay, well, let's somebody else go. You keep working on that, Paula, because I think it's probably just volume control. Oh, are we hearing you?
I'm here. Can you hear
Okay.
me? Hi, I'm Jamie Curry, and I'm newly transplanted here from Michigan, literally in the last couple of months. I used to own my own bridal shop back in Michigan. Unfortunately, during the 2008-2009 crisis, many businesses I ended up having to close. So the thing is, since then, I have been working as a professional bridal consultant / formal wear, and I have a real knack for it. it's definitely my niche area. Eventually, we're going to have to get back to regular daily life and have activities. This is why I'm here today, is to kind of gain a different perspective as to what people think about formal wear industry versus buying online. What I'd like to do is offer what I want to call a post-COVID type experience. After I closed my first shop, I realized that I had to sell dresses out of my home temporarily. And the women really love the privacy of the whole idea. And I thought, you know what, post-COVID, we can actually focus on that. And, you know, all of the events are going to come back into play at some point. We're going to have to get back to regular daily life. And so I'm looking to get funding, and any advice that I can get. We definitely need it in the area for sure. There's a lot of people here, a lot more people than what I ever thought. So.
And if you were talking to somebody, you have a call to action?
My call to action would be, I want to specialize in mother of brides. Okay. Are you referring to, how do you want me to answer that?
What would you be asking somebody to do once they understand what you do? Call
I
you,
want them.
come to an event, call you, get on your website.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yes, 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 yes. I would have all of my social media set up. I would totally ask them to check out all of my reviews. I've got about 50 public 5-star reviews in the different areas I've worked in this, and I would like to let them know what I can offer.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Jamie. Welcome.
Thank you.
Who wants to try to be next?
Paula, by the way, is going to type hers and I'll read it. She's having audio issues, so.
Okay,
Okay,
that's great. Tell me when you're done, and we'll put it up in the, we'll look in the chat. Are you going to read it in the chat, Marie?
well, she's gonna type whenever she gets it ready. So.
Okay, Lindsay, Eddie, Ty, who would like to go next?
I can go next.
Oh, Lindsay, great.
My name is Lindsay Atkinson, and I'm in the process of forming an LLC to sell travel products that are a little more applicable to our post-COVID world that can help people feel safer once they start resuming travel. And really the target audience is people who right now are looking at those Caribbean vacations, but don't want to jump in and book them because the information is so confusing on whether it's safe or not, and they don't know exactly when it'll be safe or how it'll be safe or if they need anything to make it safe. So my goal is to have my first set of products launch in the spring of 2021. And so I would ask them to follow my Facebook and Instagram that I have yet to make, so they can know when that product will launch.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Lindsay. Who is next? Eddie, I think you're muted if you're trying to speak right now. Okay, now you're on. Now
Thank you
you're.
so much, Ruth. Hi, my name's Eddie Wilson. I'm the founder of SkillBridge Source. It's a premier job placement agency designed specifically for transitioning military members to receive quality jobs within the civilian sector, utilizing a government program known as SkillBridge. This program will save companies $40,000 in the first year of hiring them and help them to get highly trained, skilled, and ready to work on military members as they make the transition from the military into the civilian sector. What I would like for you to do is connect with us and begin to apply so that you can get set up and introduced to some of these candidates and see if we can find the right fit for you in the near future.
That was pretty darn clear. I am actually writing notes, so I remember what you're all doing. It's fantastic. Thank you very much, Eddie.
And
Tom,
Ruth,
Paula?
we've got Paula's in the chat if you would like to share that, or I can certainly do it for you.
Can you do that?
Absolutely. Paula is a physical therapist and has been working as a staff PT for about 10 years. She's considering starting her own private practice. She offers highly skilled PT services with frequency-specific microcurrent, which is a new and amazing, I want you to know, I'm saying amazing, Paula, a way technique to address common musculoskeletal concerns as well as nerve pain. She'll offer one-on-one skilled PT care with unique and effective treatment methods. She would like to encourage people to take care of themselves and make self-care treatment a priority. Are you going to be private pay, Paula, or insurance? She's still deciding. Okay, we'll talk through that. Thank you for sharing, Paula.
Yeah, great. Okay, that leaves Ty. You're up. Hopefully, Ty.
Hello,
Yeah.
can you hear me?
Now I hear you.
Alrighty. I'm a little nervous. I'm not very well prepared here, but the company I want to open is called Listener. It's a digital meeting place or a physical place where people can come just to be heard and accepted. It's for the people that feel like something might be missing from their life, and are serious about finding that missing piece. What I'm selling, the product I'm selling is just it's a place where people can come to be listened to. And I don't think it's quite unique. I'm just passionate about providing that space for people. And my call to action would be just ask people or let people know that this is my business when I'm talking to them.
That was terrific. Thank you for sharing that very much. And
Thank
being
you.
brave enough, all of you, to share what you're doing, and welcome. So great to meet all of you. Let's keep going. Oops. Did I get everything? Oh, yes. After all that feel-good moment, I'm going to take you into cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is a huge problem. It's getting worse every day, and small businesses might think that it doesn't impact them, but it does every day. So let's just watch a little short video so you can learn a little bit more about it.
Ruth, the sound, I don't think is on.
There's no sound, Ruth. You have to share your sound settings.
I don't know how to do that because I'm hearing the sound. So how do I share the?
So Ruth, go into a new share. And when the pop-up comes up, you'll see an option down in the lower left-hand corner of your screen to say share audio. By the way, everybody who's here, I'm Kim. I'm the tech person. So I'm just sitting back, making sure everything's working right.
Sorry,
And
Kim, I didn't introduce you because I knew you were planning to be silent for us.
You didn't need to. I was really hoping nobody would know I was here. But technology tells us that's not going to be the thing.
Oh, Kim. Okay, share computer sound.
There it is.
All right. Sorry, you guys. Oops.
You know what, Ruth? I think this makes everyone feel better because someone shared on the chat it's their first time using Zoom. And I just want to share with everyone, you know, this is new for a lot of us in terms of the technology and how we're delivering this. So we all have to just be patient and work through it together, because that really, it does, both Kim, Ruth, and I we're all in different places. So that's the beauty of technology, but it does help when we just, you know, we roll with it. That's, as a business owner, what you'll get to do anyway.
I think I've got it. Let's see how this goes. Okay.
We're in good shape.
Oh,
But Ruth, you can't mute yourself.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Oh, looks like you could use that.
I know, I'm sorry. It's just that my business is in serious trouble right now.
Really? I thought business was booming at the Puppy Palace.
No, I mean, business per se is. I mean, like right now we're doing more French Bulldog manicures and poodle waxings than ever. But, well, I was hacked.
Did you say hacked?
Yeah, hacked. These cyber criminals came in and they took all my company information.
Wow. Who would want to steal information from a dog grooming company?
See, I don't know. I always thought it was like big businesses that were vulnerable to cyber attacks. I mean, I don't have 1 million customers, but these people, they got my client list, they took my grooming history, they have the pet owner's financial information. I mean, it's a nightmare.
Wow. What are you going to do?
I have no idea.
Sounds to me like you got phished. A clever email is sent asking an employee for their username and password, or has an employee click a link or attachment, which downloads malware to the computer and poof. You know, spear phishing.
Oh, this is Idaho. There's not a lot of spear fishing here. It's mostly fly fishing, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say fly fishing. Oh, spin casting is also popular.
No, spear phishing. Spear phishing is a targeted email that combines social engineering and technical subterfuge to steal data or to download malware for malicious purposes. An email arrives, apparently from a trustworthy source like a coworker or boss, and directs the employee to download a file or go to a bogus website where it asks for their credentials. The email looked convincing, and one of your employees clicked on it, probably Trish. When this happened, the cyber criminals gained access to her information and thus gathering your company's sensitive data as well.
So it's Trisha's fault.
No, not Trisha's fault. Your fault. The email looked convincing, and without proper training, Trish could have never known. How do you expect her to catch something that you don't even know exists? You didn't educate yourself or your employees. It's your fault.
Why didn't you educate yourself?
Oh, like you knew any of this. You fix bikes.
You know, I'm feeling slightly less sorry for you. Which reminds me, I'm about to open my bike shop soon. What do I need to know about cybersecurity and how to protect myself?
First, employees. Make sure your employees are trained to think about cybersecurity. They are the gatekeepers, and they must be trained and retrained to make sure they are practicing safe cyber behavior. Second, backup. Make sure you have an identical copy of your computer's information backed up somewhere like the cloud or an external hard drive, and make sure to back up often. Third, encrypting. If you convert your computer's data into a form that others without authorization can't read or understand, there's no concern if a hacker gets your information because they won't be able to use it. Fourth, mobile devices. With all the businesses being done on laptops, phones, and tablets, it's imperative to have a virtual private network software so you can have a safe connection to unknown networks. Take your buddy here. His phone has been connected to the public cafe Wi-Fi this whole time, and Todd over there has just stolen all of his credit card information.
So what do I do now? I mean, these hackers already have my information. I didn't do none of that. So what do I do?
Well, you can call your local law enforcement agency or the FBI.
Oh, Thank God.
But the breach probably isn't local, and the FBI is doing more important things like stopping terrorist attacks. Don't worry, your cyber insurance should take care of it. It'll at least take care of the liability for all your dog people's personal information.
Yeah, I don't have insurance.
Well, sounds like you built a wood house in Oklahoma and are thinking about protecting it only after the tornado has struck.
Oklahoma has tornadoes?
You're hopeless. Dude.
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 71% of security breaches target small businesses. 59% of small businesses don't have a contingency plan in place. And 60% of businesses don't recover after a cyber attack. Don't get caught unprepared. Visit www.idahosbdc.org/cyber for more information on how you can protect yourself and your business.
Well, welcome back. I am going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming here. Here we go. And, oh gosh, Kim, how do I get out of here?
Just hit escape.
Escape, of course. All right. Somehow this doesn't look like it's my full screen anymore.
It's not. You have to like back out and go back in. It's so stupid. But
oh, for goodness sake. Here we go.
I'm sure this is making all of you feel great because this is what happens with new technology and trying to get it straight. So it's kind of fun.
Welcome to the world of doing your business virtually. Hooray. Okay. All right. You're still with us. Let's keep going. We're going to start now talking about these fundamentals. I'm going to run through them one by one, just a little bit on each to give you an idea that if you are thinking about, well, what are my first steps? Some of you are brand new, some not as new, that's okay. To think about all the things that you have to do to get started. All right, so 3 options on how to get in business. You can buy an existing business. You can do that through a broker. You could buy out your boss. You could just offer to buy somebody's business. That's one way to do it. You could become involved in a franchise. Here are a list of some of the advantages and disadvantages from being involved in a franchise. That's another way to do it. Oops. Or you can start from scratch. All 3 are valid, and all 3 are ways that SBDC consultants can help you get started. Not one better than the other. All are relevant, and we're available to help you with any of these 3 ways of getting started. We primarily will help you determine if your idea is feasible and if it's feasible to get it up, running, and growing. And here's a couple of things to know about how we might help determine feasibility. What we find before we get started is that a lot of people who go into business just figure that it's, I got the idea and I got the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And what we know is that if it were that easy, everybody would be doing it. So we use a number of different methodologies to help you build up. You've got a kit now where all of these different types of frameworks are available to you. And of course, you've got consultants like all 3 of us, Kim, Marie, and myself, to help walk through these things. We work with a model called a lean startup model, where we're looking at your minimum viable proposition or your product, your minimum viable product, your minimum viable service, one step at a time. So to figure out what's the smallest thing you could do to be successful, to help make that successful, and then to add something more, something more, something more. So we're never trying to help somebody go from 0 to 60, 0 to 100. We're going to do this in incremental steps. This is a way to minimize your risk and uncertainty over the long term. The lean startup model, which is used all over the world and where a lot of these tools come from, a lot of the ones that you now have in your pack, is about, if you're going to fail, fail fast and fail cheap. This is no longer a world where we expect to spend a lot of money to find out that nobody is interested in your product. We want to go out there and figure that out as quickly as we can, if that is in fact true, before you spend a lot of money. And then this concept of minimum viable proposition allows you to spend little increments of money to bring your product or service out into the marketplace. So what is a classic minimum viable proposition? Well, a blueprint is a classic example of this. We're going to want to build a blueprint before you actually build the house. If there's changes and adjustments that need to be made, we want to do those before the walls go up. That's the metaphor. What are some things that you need to do even before you start building your house? Well, you need to decide what kind of a business entity. Some of you have already decided on your business entity. Here are 4 classic types. That's all there is. And there's different reasons for using different types of entities. So sole proprietors and general partnerships are much easier to create. Anybody can do it. You don't, there's no barrier to entry here. And the upside of it is that it's fast and easy and anyone can do it. And the downside is that there is no barrier between you, your personal assets, and your business, right? It's a tax question and it's a legal question, right? You're going to be taxed on your personal income, and you're going to have your personal assets involved in your business. When you go into a corporate entity, whether it be an S Corp, a B Corp, a C Corp, an LLC, you are, what the law says, creating a corporate veil between you and your assets. Corporations are their own entities, and they are taxed differently as well. So here is the rule of thumb. Talk to an attorney, talk to an accountant, a CPA specifically, somebody who knows tax, to help you decide what is right for your situation. If and when you do get around to setting up your business, if you are going to be a sole proprietor or a partnership, all you have to do is register a DBA, doing business as. An assumed business name is typically what a corporation does, even an LLC. Who doesn't need a DBA? All a sole proprietor really needs is a DBA. If you're filing for an LLC or a corporation, you're going to do a name search in Idaho and make sure that your name is unique. They won't let you register it without that search.
Ruth, can I add something here?
Absolutely.
One thing I would encourage you to do before you file with the state of Idaho, it may be available in the state of Idaho. I would encourage you to get your domain name registered first. So with any of those sites that are available to get a domain name, so that you get that, you know, myspecialbusiness.com domain name, and then you register it with the state. So because many people will register with the state and then go to get the domain name and it's already taken. So you really kind of want to be proactive about that. And another little caveat is when you do the search, for the LLC. There are people out there that will charge you money to do it for you. You don't need to do that. It's $100. It's very simple. It takes about 5 minutes to do. So I'd encourage you to be careful and go to the state of Idaho website to get that done.
And I have the link coming up for you with all of these things through the state of Idaho. So you can go there and do everything that you, just about everything. In terms of deciding which entity you want to be, you're going to need an attorney and an accountant to figure that out. And certainly a consultant can help you, but we don't want to give you legal and tax advice necessarily. Everybody's situation is going to be a little bit different. Does your company need licensing and permitting? Technically, there's only some businesses that need licenses and permits for the state of Idaho. But if you are a professional, you're a physical therapist, for instance, there's a few of you on here that need different types of licenses and permits in order to function in the world. So find out if the link for the state of Idaho, if you are required to do that. And secondly, with your profession or association, if you're required to hold a license or a permit. If you're going to hire people, here's something that you need to know. There is a difference between an employee and an independent contractor.
Thank you.
Here are some of the litmus tests that the federal government considers very seriously whether you are paying your payroll taxes appropriately. The primary litmus test for an independent contractor is that they must have their own company and have more than one customer. But this is why these rules, how do you pay them? Do they have control over their time and their company? And how are they using your equipment are all rules about independent contractors. But if you if somebody is doing all their work for you, they are considered under the law an employee, and you really need to treat them as such. So know the rules. There's a hyperlink down here to the independent contracting site if you need to understand the difference between employees and independent contractors. Here's the link to business.idaho.gov. This is where you can sign up, register yourself, know what licenses you need to have, and ask any questions about doing business in Idaho. Okay, let's talk about money. I always love to tease people by saying that the only time anybody wants to loan you some money is when you don't need it. And to a certain extent, that is true. But this is what we call the growth cycles of money in business. So how do businesses start? Typically, friends and family and your own equity that you have in the world is your way of getting money as a startup. If you don't have a history in your business, it's very difficult to get lenders or the government to support you. So look for other types of ways of getting money to get started. Maybe you have an equity line, or maybe you have credit cards. A lot of people do it that way. Once you get into business, though, you might find that there are some grants and angels out there that will want to support you if you're a part of their vision for making money. And then again, in an early stage is when there's venture capital. But typically venture capitalists want to know that they are going to be able, that you are aiming to sell your business to a much bigger business and very quickly, so they make a lot of money. That's how venture capitalists make their money. If you're in it for the long haul, then you're going to want to work with your banker to find out what you need to do in order to become a company that is bankable. And remember, keep your credit good, pay your bills on time. If you're doing B2B business and you run into an inventory issue and you have purchase orders, that's like money on the table. And always reach out to an SBDC consultant to help you no matter what part of this process that you're in, to see what kind of money may or may not be available to you. If you are going to go out looking for money, you absolutely need a business plan, but there's some pretty cool tools out there that you can use that are not as onerous as an old-fashioned business plan. In fact, one of these links is a link to the one-page business plan. This is one of the tools that we ask you to fill out before you even come to see us, so that we know that you're thinking very hard about your business. Zions Bank, Wells Fargo, and HubSpot also offer a ton of templates to help you think about your business and in fact, run the numbers. We would ask you to get yourself a little bit organized and then come visit us at the SBDC, and we can help you fill out some of these tools as well. So here you go. Here are some of the ways that you can use the SBA and the SBDC. We invite you to, as soon as you're done with this today, we invite you to get an appointment with an SBDC consultant. You'll be, should be ready to do that. And there's lots of tools. Again, I gave you the link for business.idaho.gov. There's the SBA.gov. There's those of us in Region 3. And if you go to idahosbdc.org, you can, there's a button right at the top of the page that says request an appointment. You can hit that link too. And I believe I'm ready for questions before turning it over to Marie to do some work with you. Any questions on what I've covered so far?
Will there be a way for us to get all of these links sent to this whole PowerPoint sent to us so that we can use these links?
Yes, I put it in the chat, and we will send this along with the recording to you in a day or two. It takes a minute for the recording to come back, and then we'll send you both the PowerPoint and the recording. So you'll have all the links.
And I believe we sent out most of the forms this morning for you as well.
Did you get all those? Did you get those forms? I know they weren't attached to your original email. Did you all get the handouts? No one's saying anything. So yes, they did. Okay, great. Perfect.
Okay, great.
Good.
You can ask questions at any time. You can put your questions in the chat or just, wave your arms wildly at the camera, and one of us will spot you. If you think of anything else in terms of this overview, please feel free to ask me. And I'm going to turn it over to Marie now.
Okay, if you can unshare your screen, Ruth, I'm gonna try to do this if I can. Let's see here. I am going to get to here and let me find my, oh, that isn't gonna work. See, I love technology. I don't love the fact that I can't figure all this out myself, but I will. Here we go, and let me share. Oh, wait a minute. Let me unshare for a second, because I realized I have to turn on all those little screen sharing things. So give me a sec. There we go. And let me present. And I'm hoping you can all see my screen. Let me move all of you over to here. Let's see. Well, at this point, I can't see anyone, so that's okay. We'll just keep moving. And please put some information in the chat box for me if you could, if I can hear, because I am, let me make sure that I can move this a second. I apologize, but I really want to make sure I can see everything while I'm talking to you. Okay, yes, Ty just said, if you get more organized, there is a way to have an in-person meeting with the consultant. One of the things that Ruth did mention is that we really want you to really have a kind of a clear concept of what you're doing, and maybe as we walk through this back half, it will help you, and then come in with that idea, and then we're going to work with you on getting that fine-tuned. So this part of it is about sharpening your idea, and we're going to walk through this, and part of this will be some of the stuff that you shared today. We'll kind of see if we can do it, and now I'm having a hard time moving. Oh, there we go. I'm having a hard time moving my slides. They're just taking on a mind of their own. Let me see here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so there's materials in your packet that we're going to be going through. One is the value proposition canvas. We won't really go through the one-page business plan template, but it's a really good thing for you to kind of start jotting some thoughts down. The elevator pitch basics you already had, and we went through that. Each of you went through it. And really what that is designed to do is really to get you honed into who, what your product or service is, who is it for, and what you're asking that person to do. What is the call for action? So we're going to keep moving forward. And we've mentioned that really what a business startup is a temporary organization in search of a repeatable and scalable business model. As Ruth talked about that minimum viable proposition, you kind of go out here and start small. And searching for that repeatable and scalable way that you can build the business, and consumers are wanting what you're having to offer. You're solving a problem or creating a solution for someone that they're willing to pay for. That's kind of a key thing. So what we're going to be talking about, and you heard us mention the business model canvas. The business model canvas is not something that we're going to go through today, but this is what you would work through when you are thinking about something with a consultant. We are going to go through 2 of these to create I'm going to back up, the value proposition and the customer segment. We're going to just play on those, but I am going to do a video for you on what this canvas looks like. If you think about it, if you fill all this out, and there's different exercises to do, and it's really actually quite fun, you can really almost, this is kind of your one-page business model as well. It just looks a little bit differently. So I am going to move this and play this video for you, and I'm hoping that it works.
An organization's business model can be described with 9 basic building blocks: your customer segments, your value proposition for each segment, the channels to reach customers, customer relationships you establish, the revenue streams you generate, the key resources and key activities you require to create value, the key partners, and the cost structure of the business model. But it's not sufficient to just enumerate the 9 building blocks. What you really want to do is to map them out on a pre-structured canvas. This is what we call the business model canvas, a tool that helps you map, discuss, design, and invent new business models. Let's briefly go through the 9 building blocks, starting with the customer segments. These are all the people or organizations for which you're creating value. This includes simple users and paying customers. For each segment, you have a specific value proposition. These are the bundles of products and services that create value for your customers. The channels describe through which touchpoints you're interacting with customers and delivering value. The Customer relationships outline the type of relationship you're establishing with your customers. The revenue streams make clear how and through which pricing mechanisms your business model is capturing value. Then you need to describe the infrastructure to create, deliver, and capture value. The key resources show which assets are indispensable in your business model. The key activities show which things you really need to be able to perform well. The key partners show who can help you leverage your business model, since you won't own all key resources yourself, nor will you perform all key activities. Then once you understand your business model's infrastructure, you'll also have an idea of its cost structure. So with the business model canvas, you can map out your entire business model in one image. This works for startup entrepreneurs just as well as for the most senior executives.
Okay, thank you for listening that. And I know it was.
Hi everybody, my name is Alexander
sorry.
Osterwalder. I wrote a book called Business Model Generation
Hold
together
on.
with
Now I've got
EPN.
to escape.
And the book is used around the world to figure out what...
There we go. All sorts of fun today. Okay, here we go. I hope you can all hear me. Please let me know in the chat if you cannot. I'm having a little bit of a problem here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so what we're going to talk about really is the customer and the value proposition that you bring to the customer. We're really going to hone in on this because that's really where some of you are starting. I know some of you have an existing business, and that's a little bit different, but at the same time, this is really what we're going to hone in on today. And I'm going to talk about the value proposition canvas explained. And I'm going to really, you're going to have another little video, so we may have some technical difficulties. However, this will really explain it. And I'm thinking through some of your businesses as you were describing them and really thinking about what is that value proposition. So I really want you to think about it as we move through this. And let me get this started for you.
Every day, companies design products and services to improve their customers' lives. But 72% of new product and service innovations fail to deliver on expectations. This means that customers don't care about 7 out of 10 new products introduced to the market. It doesn't have to be this way. Just like you create value for your business with a business model canvas, there is in fact a tool to intentionally visualize, design, and test how you create value for customers. It's called the Value Proposition Canvas. The Value Proposition Canvas is composed of 2 parts, the customer profile and the value map. With the customer profile, you describe the jobs your customers try to get done. Jobs can be functional, like getting from A to B, social, like impressing friends and colleagues, or emotional, like gaining peace of mind. You highlight your customers' pains which annoy customers while trying to get a job done. Pains are negative outcomes that customers hope to avoid, like dissatisfactions with existing solutions and challenges, frustrations, risks, or obstacles related to performing a job. And you outline customer gains which describe how customers measure the success of a job well done. Gains are positive outcomes that customers hope to achieve, like concrete results, benefits, and even aspirations. Use the customer profile to visualize, test, and track your understanding of the people or companies you intend to create value for. It's a map that becomes clearer the more you learn about your customers. The second part of the canvas is the value map. With it, you list the products and services your value proposition builds on. You describe in which way these products, services, and features are pain relievers, how they eliminate, reduce, or minimize pains customers care about, making their life easier. And you outline in which way they are gain creators, how they produce, increase, or maximize outcomes and benefits that your customers expect, desire, or would be surprised by. The value map makes explicit how your products and services relieve pains and create gains. Use it to design, test, and iterate your value proposition until you figure out what resonates with customers. You achieve fit by creating a clear connection between what matters to customers and how your products, services, and features ease pains and create gains. Great value propositions target essential customer jobs, pains, and gains, and do so extremely well. Your customer profile may contain countless jobs, pains, and gains, but your value map highlights which ones you intend to focus on. But don't forget, an outstanding value proposition can still fail if your business model is flawed. Successful companies embed outstanding value propositions in scalable and profitable business models. Use the value proposition canvas to create products and services that customers want. Get started at strategizer.com.
Okay, good. I was able to do that segue. That gives you a little bit of explaining as we go through this, as you think about your business, what is your customer trying to do? We'll move on here. What value do you deliver to that customer? What gain creators do you deliver? What pain relievers? But part of the thing is, let's think about some of the businesses that some of you have. So for example, Eddie, whose business is SkillBridge Source, is matching up veterans, people who served in the military that have certain skill sets. So they're trying to get a job in the marketplace when they become civilian lifestyle. So that's what are they trying to do? They're trying to find a job. So what is their pain? The pain is they've been in the military, they've been serving for a bit, they're kind of out of touch with the civilian world. What would be a gain? A gain would be to be able to find a job so that they can provide a good living for themselves and their families. So you can start seeing through what this looks like. So for Tyler, who wants to have a dog park for 18 to 35-year-olds that also focuses on social interaction. So he described some of the things that were missing or that he felt like that would look like. So those are the things you're going to start thinking about as you move through this value proposition. What is that customer trying to do? When they're at the dog park with their dog, they want something to do, they want some social, they want some interaction. So what is that, and how do you create it if that is truly something that they're willing to pay for? Bye, Paula. She has to log off. So when you think about who are you creating value, who are your most important customers, many times it's a segment. So many of you know who that marketplace is. And I'm going to show you, though, a video here, and it's a little bit long, but it will give you a point. Sometimes I actually am going to go, I'm going to skip and go back, because many times we create a product or service and we're here and we want to go this way. If you can follow my arrow, we want to go this way. And when that happens, we're creating something that we think people want, and we haven't really tested the marketplace, but we're going to do it. And then we're going to convince people that they need it, versus the other way of saying, well, what are they really trying to do? And let's create something that's going to solve a pain or create a gain for them. And then it's more this way. We're providing something the customer wants. And the reason that that's important is sometimes we don't really know what the job is that customer is trying to accomplish. So this video will really stretch you in terms of thinking, what is that customer really trying to do? In the case of Tyler's dog park, really, is the customer really wanting to walk the dog, or are they really looking for a venue in a safe place to kind of do things at the same time and still have social? And I think he did mention food and drink as well. So I don't know the answer to that, but when we take a look at this, it may help explain some of that.
So I wanted just to tell you a story about a project we did for one of the big fast food restaurants. They were trying to goose up the sales of their milkshakes. They had just studied this problem up the gazoo. They brought in customers who fit the profile of the quintessential milkshake consumer. And they'd give them samples and ask, could you tell us how we can improve our milkshakes so you'd buy more of them? Do you want it chocolatey or cheaper, chunky or chewier? They get very clear feedback. They would then improve the milkshake on those dimensions, and it had no impact on sales or profits whatsoever. So one of our colleagues went in with a different question on his mind, and that was, I wonder what job arises in people's lives that cause them to come to this restaurant to hire a milkshake. So we stood in a restaurant for 18 hours one day and just took very careful data. What time did they buy these milkshakes? What were they wearing? Were they alone? Did they buy other food with it? Did they eat it in the restaurant or drive off with it? It turned out that nearly half of the milkshakes were sold before 8 o'clock in the morning. The people who bought them were always alone. It was the only thing they bought, and they all got in the car and drove off with it. So to figure out what job they were trying to hire it to do, we came back the next day and stood outside the restaurant so we could confront these folks as they left, milkshake in hand. And in language that they could understand, we essentially asked, excuse me, please, but I got to sort this puzzle out. What job were you trying to do for yourself that caused you to come here and hire that milkshake? And they'd struggle to answer, so we'd then help them by asking other questions like, well, think about the last time you were in the same situation, needing to get the same job done, but you didn't come here to hire a milkshake. What did you hire? And then as we put all of their answers together, it became clear that they all had the same job to do in the morning, and that is they had a long and boring drive to work. And they just needed something to do while they drove to keep the commute interesting. One hand had to be on the wheel, but somebody had given them another hand and there wasn't anything in it. And they just needed something to do while they drove. They weren't hungry yet, but they knew they'd be hungry by 10 o'clock. So they also wanted something that would just go down there and stay for their morning. Good question. What do I hire when I do this job? You know, I've never framed the question that way before, but last Friday, I hired a banana to do the job. Take my word for it, never hire bananas. They're gone in 3 minutes, you're hungry by 7:30. If you promise not to tell my wife, I'd probably hire donuts twice a week, but they don't do it well either. They're gone fast, they crumb all over my clothes, they get my fingers gooey. Sometimes I hire bagels, but as you know, they're so dry and tasteless. Then I have to steer the car with my knees while I'm putting jam on them, and then if the phone rings, we got a crisis. I remember I hired a Snickers bar once, but I felt so guilty I've never hired Snickers again. Let me tell you, when I come here and hire this milkshake, it is so viscous that it easily takes me 20 minutes to suck it up that thin little straw. Who cares what the ingredients are? I don't. All I know is I'm full all morning and it fits right here in my cup holder. Well, it turns out that the milkshake does the job better than any of the competitors, which in the customer's minds are not Burger King milkshakes, but it's bananas, donuts, bagels, Snickers bars, coffee, and so on. But I hope you can see how, if you understand the job, how to improve the product becomes just obvious.
Okay, the reason that I showed that is because, as you can see, thinking about what your customer is trying to do is critically important. What is their job? So for example, Lindsay, the customer job is to travel, I'm guessing, Lindsay, but to travel safely wherever they want to go. So she's going to provide products that will allow people to do that. Let's see, the Idaho Shirt Shop, their customer is trying to express themselves visually with apparel, and she's helping them do that. But when you think about what he said, is when you understand what the job is, you can improve upon it. So you can start out small and then really test this to see what will work. So again, it's for whom are you creating value and who are the most important customers. And then when you start looking, you all have this value prop. You can start using literally small little Post-it notes. I hope you can see that, where you can just start putting them in and seeing what does that look like. We're going to look at a couple samples. So here's a value proposition canvas sample for something that you all know about, I would imagine, for Uber. So let's kind of walk through it a little bit. So we think through, okay, what was the customer trying to do? Well, they were looking for, we all travel or we all try to get somewhere. I need to get somewhere. I don't have a car. So service, variety, and on-demand availability. That's really what the customer was trying to do. What was the problem with that? Processing time, when you take a taxi and then you got to pay and it takes a minute and you're trying to get your luggage. High costs. Is it trustworthy? What about security? And then the gains. Well, faster service, available, pick me right up where I'm at, and low cost. Now, when we think about this and we're trying to look through this, we say, well, how can I be a pain reliever? Hassle-free processing. It's already hooked up. You have an app on your phone. It's a less expensive rides are available. You can share. There is reliability. There's all sorts of things that are pain relievers, and it's on demand. Up here is the game creator, on demand availability, shorter wait for rides, low prices than a taxi. And again, at the bottom, it's cashless. You plug in that credit card, it's good to go. You're done and done. So what did this create? What were the things? Rideshare, one-tap ride, efficient rides, on-demand cabs. And you can see this is what really disrupted the marketplace. And I mean, there's been a lot of delivery options and different things that have resulted in the last few years. But at the same time, you can see when you're looking at what the customer is trying to do, how can you improve upon that? That's why this value proposition canvas can really help. And there's a couple tools that you can do if you'd like to do it online. This is a document that I believe it's if you look up Creately and they have a free canvas, you can go in and kind of drag and drop and put some things, or you can just use the one you've got sent digitally, blow it up, make a couple prints, and use some Post-it notes to really kind of start moving things around and seeing what that looks like. Now, one of the key things is, as we all know, and we talked about this, these are just your thoughts. And we talk about going out to the marketplace to determine, oh my goodness, what is true? So when you build out your canvas, and you can have it in front of you and start jotting some things right now, circle what you know to be true on your canvas. So for example, Tyler, I am picking on you with the dog park concept. One of his beliefs about the customer job is they want to have a social atmosphere when they take their dog out to the dog park instead of just sitting around. Well, does he know, is it true? Can he verify that? What data does he have to back it up? And those are some things that we're going to chat on, how you can analyze this and look through that. So if you don't know that it's true, and it's the same with, let's talk about Jamie. Jamie has been in the bridal and formal wear industry, and she knows, I think she mentioned she wanted to work with mothers of the bride. And so she can probably guess what's true, and it would be kind of a social emotional thing that they want to look fabulous the day of a big event. What are they trying to do? They, look great the day of the event. Is that true? Do you know that to be true? Those are the things you want to start asking yourself. And what is not true? Put a square around what you are unsure to be true on your canvas. What is a pain in terms of finding the appropriate formal wear to a significant event? What would the gain be? Or what is a pain when I take my dog to the dog park and the dog is having a blast, but I don't even have a bench to sit on, whatever that looks like. How can you test its validity and what data do you need? And those are things that we can help you at, here at the SBDC, and you would, get an appointment with any one of us. What the key thing is, you really want to start solidifying this to say, how can I really find this out? So the key is, a lot of people, and we see this happen often, they want to race through this piece. And you remember the part where Ruth talked about, it had the little minimum viable proposition. Do your work now. How much time do you have to put into the idea? How much research? Do you feel like you've done enough? Now we have the young lady with the t-shirt. She's been in business for 2 years. She knows she's got a good thing going. Now it takes about refining. She knows what her customer's trying to do. She just needs to refine that a little bit to move forward. As well as, I think, Eddie, who's matching veterans with jobs. He's thought about it. I'm guessing there's been some research there. So these are the things you really want to do, because we have case after case of clients who maybe have said, this is going to be the most amazing thing ever. And as I shared with you, they went from my product and service, creating it, and then trying to sell it to the marketplace, instead of saying, what is the customer trying to do and what can I create? So they've got 10,000 widgets that they've paid X amount of dollars and no one's interested in buying them. We want you to think through this a little bit differently. Put the time and the effort in up front and ask yourself, have I done my homework? And we really want you to think about, adopt this lean startup approach. In your packet, you've got a lean startup problem interview. We want you to really think through some of these things and what you can deliver, and then go out and interview people that are in your target market. As you see, I hope you have this in front of you, but we give you a script, so you can say, I notice when people come to the dog park, they're either on their phones or they're bored and they're standing around and the dogs are having fun. And it looks like this may be an opportunity to do something fun. Then ask them to say, tell me 3 to 5 problems that you have when you come to the dog park. What would that look like? And as you work through this, you're going to kind of think about, oh, well, do you read a book? What do you do? And as you work through this questionnaire, you can see that maybe once you determine what that job the customer is trying to do, you can really develop a product or service that will help them solve that issue. And part of this in your research, and we can certainly help you walk through this, is that you really want to test it. And it's not, just talking to 10 people that are your family or friends. Go out there, be brave. Being an entrepreneur is about doing your homework, solving a problem, creating a solution for people, and really being ahead of the curve. Because as that video said, when you know the job they're trying to create, what are they trying to do? You can present yourself, your business, your product, your service as a solution if you've done the work. So again, remember, we have a temporary organization in search of a repeatable and scalable business model. And we talk temporary, and I would say, in light of what's happened the last, who knows how many months, where businesses have really thought about how customers are trying to do things, and they've had to do it in different ways. For example, we've had to do Business Base Camp virtually. This is probably the 4th or 5th time I've done it. It's Ruth's first, so thank you, Ruth, for being part of the team here to do this. And with the help of Kim, we've been able to figure this out. Is it ideal? We would love to have you in front of us. But what we've all learned is that, we've all had to learn new skills, and our customers have as well. People who've had brick and mortar stores realize that they need an online presence to move forward. So it's kind of temporary as you're determining what that customer wants and how you can provide value for them. So we want you to keep calm, get out of wherever you are if you can safely, and conduct those interviews. Do your market demand tests, do some testing. There's some really great ways if you have a product. Lindsay's got some travel products. There's some certain things that you can do with social media to see if people really will order it at this price. Some pre-orders. What does that look like? And do some testing, product iteration testing. I don't think we have anyone developing a product in here. But for Ty, who wants to create a space for people to be heard, listening, what does that look like? What is the customer really looking for? How is that model going to be monetized? What would that look like? All these things, what are they willing to pay for that? These are things that you want to do. And certainly we can help you start that process, because the goal is for you to be successful, build a thriving business that absolutely meets the needs of your customers. So what are your next steps? This is a lot of information. You've all been so patient with us, and we thank you for that. There are some next steps that you can have. There's a couple options that you have here with us at the SBDC. You could certainly, I think someone in the chat said, can I schedule a business appointment? Yes, you can. One of the prerequisites we have, if you haven't started it or you're reviewing, is to come through this business-based camp, because it kind of answers some of those questions. You can certainly get some additional training, as Ruth mentioned, on our IdahoSBDC.org website. There's always different trainings that are available. And certainly another thing is, if we can't help you, we'll refer you to other providers as well. If you're looking for space, but wait, there's more. Both Ruth and I are affiliated with the accelerators. She's in Boise, I'm in Nampa, and certainly you can possibly take a look at if you needed some office space or something a little bit bigger to grow your business. We would certainly welcome you to a tour, and we can show you what we have available. We absolutely would love you to fill out the survey when you get it, because your feedback is important. And we know that you are here because you have a desire to grow a thriving business, and we just want you to take the right steps, and we're here to help you. So we thank you so much, and I'm going to stop my share. This is a really good phone number, and if you go to IdahoSBDC.org, you can just hit on the request for consulting and share on there that you just finished Business Base Camp, and our staff will get you signed up appropriately. I'm going to stop my share and ask if there are any questions at this time. You are all so quiet. Oh my goodness. And Derek joined us. Welcome, Derek. And I know,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Tyler.
So I do have a question. One of the things we talked about a little bit was, doing research for your business and stuff. When would you say that research, like as far as sorry, I can't remember the name of it, the value proposition canvas should be done? If, like, for example, when would you say there's been enough research done, or you've thought about it enough?
Well, Tyler, you're the dog park, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Well, first of all, that's an expensive proposition, I would imagine. So I would certainly say, before you spend any money, you're going to be wanting to do a lot of research to make sure that this is viable, because there are lots of free dog parks out there. And there may be, you really want to go out there and do that before you spend a ton of money on property, or I'm not sure what your concept is. But another thing could be, oh, wait, could I partner with existing dog parks to provide the amenities that I'm thinking of, if there is a desire for that someone would pay for? Does that help?
Okay. Yeah, sorry, that helps a lot.
That helps you? Okay. I can see you a little bit. Any other questions that you have? We will be sending out a recording of this as well as the PowerPoints. And we are all here to help you grow your business and, you know, really discover what it is that's going to help you build it. Ruth, do you have anything, other comments?
Yeah, Jamie has a question. Let's open the floor for Jamie.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Okay, all right. So the idea that when I'd mentioned earlier that I had already had a shop and I'd closed it and I'd sold dresses out of my house.
Right.
You know, it's kind of funny because I remember saying, you know, boy, if I'd have known that women liked this private, intimate type thing, I would have just stayed in my house and sold dresses.
Right.
So the thing with COVID, I hate to keep capitalizing on that. However, it does affect the way people foresee the future of what their formal wear needs are. So my question is too, is that I want to create a very, very unique experience for them. I don't know if it's a crazy idea, but I would really like to not have a storefront. I'd rather have an office space.
Yep.
And is that something, can retail be done in an office building, say a professional building versus all the other? See, people with formal wear, I could put a shop out in the middle of a cornfield and I'm going to get people to come out there. But with my idea that I have, it's too long to be drawn out on here. I really, really, truly feel that putting it in a building where there's lots of possible clientele, I can really build and grow from there. And I think with this type of experience that I have, I'm going to offer will actually intrigue my customers.
I think that
question, Jamie.
My question.
Did you get it, Marie? Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Her question is, could she set up kind of her boutique atmosphere in an office building that's not retail?
Exactly.
Right. I got it. Yes. So I think, Jamie, I can't answer that, but I think a couple things that would, in your particular instance, determine that target market. What is the market for formal wear here in terms of percentages, where that would be? Because this is what I know right now. Currently, there's office buildings in downtown Boise that they're not going back to the office. They're literally going to continue to work from home. So I think we're going to see some things changing. I also think that for you, it's what is that customer trying to do? And that is really what you want to think about. It may or may not be formal wear as we knew it, may be different. People are always going to want to look great when they go somewhere. And it could be that whole head up thing because we'll be doing Zooms forever. I don't know, but you get the drift. Right. But that is how we can help you kind of walk through that, because you really want to think through what it's going to look like, because there's going to be, you know what I mean?
I have a beautiful, wonderful idea. You know, what's funny is I don't want to give all my details away. That's how good of an idea I think I actually have.
That's when you need to schedule an appointment. And part of that is, though, remember, you have this great idea. You have experience with matching people up with walking out the door feeling fabulous. So
that's right.
What you want to think about is really what is your value proposition and where would that go? And, you know, I think there's some really key things there. Ruth, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I do. The model of looking at it from your customer's point of view and then using the problem interview does not give away your solution yet.
It doesn't. No.
Talk to enough of your ideal clients to find out what they want.
Right. Well, the first thing that I did. The first thing I did when I moved out to Boise, I just moved out here in July, is I of course went around. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware of how good your situation is out here in the Pacific Midwest compared to, say, Michigan. it's a completely different atmosphere. Even mindset is completely different out here. There's a lot of money to be spent out here. People have it, they want it. Your economy is still boosted. All these parking lots are full out here. You know, the thing is that I don't think COVID's going away soon. I think that we're going to have to be able to accommodate people's needs, in the sense that they need to feel safe and secure and know that they're going to have, how am I trying to explain this? Anyway, getting back to the main thing that I want to do is the experience that I want to offer is going to be something different than what they've ever had. I've, with my experience over the years with women of all different ages, I also specialize in pageant and prom. I mean, I do all of that. But what I've noticed is that they love the one-on-one individual attention anyway. So now this makes a really good, what I'd like to do is, let's just say you have a special event coming up. You call me, you see my card, you call me. I set up it's called the couture closet. I set up my couture closet according to the needs based on what your event is, what your budget is, what your colors are. So when you come in, it's a customized shopping experience for you and you only. There won't be anybody else. It's me and you. And it's a really, truly, I already have envisioned it. I've seen it. It's going to happen.
Okay.
I just need to know.
That's great. And that is perfect for you to connect with one of the consultants to really flesh out exactly what you want to do and see what the right spot would be. Anyone else? Do you have any other questions? We're right out of time, so I want to honor your time. We thank you so much for being part of this and enduring all. See, I hope we all made you feel fabulous, because we still don't even have this Zoom down, and we do it a lot. So I know some of you, this was your first time using it, but I really am excited. And Andrea, I hope that you come in and see us, because I know there's some great thoughts as you move forward. Because all of us, and I can tell you, even Kim and Ruth and I, when we hear people's stories, we kind of they start rolling in our brains as well. So we're here to help you through the process, and we want to thank you. And you'll be getting both the survey and the recording and the PowerPoint. So thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Andrea, do you have a question?
I did actually, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, I'll hang here with your question.
Thanks. So I was just wondering, so my husband has his MBA, so I hear a lot of this stuff from him, but I always get stuck on how do I go about talking to my potential market and trying to figure out what it is that they want. I mean, I always go like, do I cold call? Do I send emails? Do I visit it? I am always like stuck on the functionality of how do I actually get this
That's
information.
why I love this lean startup model, because it's actually scripted.
Okay.
And the worksheet for it is included in the pack, but it's a really sweet little way of asking for some time. You're literally interviewing them. It's not about you. You're never talking about yourself in there.
Right. So do you just
say, well, this is who I am, you know, but you're basically curious, and it's completely scripted.
Do you just pick businesses out of the phone book and call them, or like how?
Well, if you and I sat down, I would have you take a look at who is your ideal client.
Okay.
And go after that and do as many of those interviews as you possibly can.
Okay.
Right. And to help, because you got to fill in the blanks in the interview, right? Because it's generic and you have to build it for your questions, right? And you walk away with a wealth of information. And it's not easy to do, because you are taking yourself out of the equation. You know, you're just, on that value proposition model, the one behind me, actually, you're just doing the round one. You're just looking at them,
Right.
Nothing about you yet.
Right.
This is this idea of like, I know we all have these fantastic ideas, but we listen to what other people are saying to us over and over and over again.
Right.
Oh, well, wait, I thought I was going to do this, but if I just do it a little bit differently, it's a sure thing. In the lean startup model, there's also a solution interview. Typically, I use that a lot less because we either just blow away the idea, like nobody cares about it, right? And we kind of go, okay, let's go back to the drawing board.
Right.
Or it's so crystal clear what needs to be developed that we never go back to the problem, to the solution interview. But technically in the lean model, there is a problem interview and a solution interview. So that you come back to them and go like, okay, I did kind of exactly what you told, you said you wanted, what do you think? Kind of thing.
Right.
And that's a different script. But this one is all scripted, so you don't have to worry about what you're going to do and say. It's really very good. So nice.
Sorry, it's hard with the delay. I keep feeling like I'm cutting you off. I'm not meaning to.
No, I was delayed. Okay, excuse me.
So, if I were to set up an appointment, someone could help me kind of figure out how to actually practically, because I feel like I understand a lot of the concepts, but I don't feel like I am comfortable knowing actually how to implement those concepts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I'm certainly comfortable helping you do that.
Okay, great. Then I will reach out. Thank you so much.
Good.
Have a good day.
Take care, Andrea. Hey, Ty, did you get your question answered as well?
My question was just kind of along what Andrea said, but more along, I'm scared of like putting myself out there to maybe acquire clientele or customers. So I know the script is great, but just like getting out and like doing that is something that trips me up pretty bad.
Okay, well then let's just do it slow. Right? I mean, we can, to sit down and do some work around who is your ideal client? Who do you want? Who do you, if you have sat in a listening circle, right? And you have an idea of who is your perfect client, right? Pick out people you know already to do an interview. See if they'll do an interview with you. Just start easy. People that you already know go to listening circles, or,
Yeah.
This would be the work we would do to identify, well, who do we need to get information from?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're introverted and this is who you are, we just kind of start easy,
Yeah,
we'll pick
that's a great idea.
Fruit until you build your confidence.
Yeah. I have some people that I'm comfortable with that I could talk with.
Exactly. So just format this lean model so that you're collecting the data that's going to be helpful to you to find out if this is an idea that you can build a business around.
Okay. Thank you.
And it might be exactly what people want right now.
Yeah, I'm hoping so.
Everybody's idea is something that may be worth building a business around.
Mm-hmm.
We just don't know yet.
Yep.
Until we ask. We just crowdsource this thing until we get it down. So don't worry about being shy. We'll just start easy.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Okay, great. Hope to see you again.
For sure.
Okay. Eddie and Andrea, you're hanging around. Any last questions that I can help with?
I was just listening.
Okay. Eddie?
Me too.
Okay, great. Well, it's really great to meet all of you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.